Hey, welcome to My Week After the Show. We have to continue talking about the presidential race because Nolan, the second that the cameras turn off, Nolan's like, well, Joe Biden's going to get into the race. And I disagreed that he's going to get into the race.
I think he's very ambitious and he's starting to see a little opening. I think, you know, it's very unusual for a vice president not to get in the race. This is a guy who's ran for president before. He's got presidential ambitions. If he sees a more weakening of Hilary Clinton's position, I wouldn't be surprised Joe Biden got in the race.
But, I mean, from a sort of historical perspective, Hillary Clinton is the sort of inheritor of that vice presidential role. I mean, she's not vice president, but she has served in a very important cabinet role for 8 years. She's sort of sucking up that air in a way that Biden never really has. I mean, no one really thinks of him as either having that much realistic presidential ambition or being somebody that the party would coalesce around. It was always Hillary Clinton.
She's doing her best to stir memories of the worst of the Clinton administration in terms of
she's not going to be different than
its cronyism, in terms of its, you know, the rules don't apply to us approach. I think they're
best economy in half a century. People will
remember that.
And
will resonate
that's the strength
with them.
of it. But there's a lot of negatives there, and those negatives are getting a lot of attention now.
People don't like them, but they respect them.
At a period where folks might be tempted on the Democratic side to get into the race, and that's what I'm saying. If there's not people aren't just sitting back there saying, "Gosh, I don't want to run for president."
Well,
I can't beat her.
But even if there's weaknesses on her part, it doesn't mean that's a good opening for Joe Biden. Maybe he's not the guy to step into that opening.
Women like him, don't they, Chris?
Oh my gosh!
Every time you see him, he's loving up women.
That's creepy. That's creepy. Those pictures and the montages of him being unusually close to people.
He's awfully friendly.
Creepy.
He is a friendly guy.
Oh, you know, you guys say friendly as a woman.
That doesn't seem so friendly.
It doesn't quite. That's not. Yeah, I'd say that's kind of. It's inappropriate.
But
put it that way.
There has to be Republican or Democratic governors out there, even some Democratic senators, who are looking at this and saying, you know, maybe. I mean, when Bill Clinton got into the race in whatever year that was, it was a long shot. Everybody thought, why is he getting in the race?
It was a much weaker field. You didn't have Hillary Clinton in that field.
But you don't know how much weaker she's going to get here in terms of the things coming out.
I think.
What is the worst thing that they can hit her with?
Well, destroying evidence that had been subpoenaed by Congress is a pretty serious offense.
Private emails. Nobody cares.
Not private emails. That would be fine if they were. These were her business.
No, this is the latest. Yeah, I know this is the latest thing, but is it the most serious thing that people can pin against her?
Here's the problem.
And the raising, you know, the Clinton Foundation's fundraising of
from other countries. Yes.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem. That is an entirely Washington story. Nobody outside of Washington cares that she deleted emails. You know why? Because everybody goes through and deletes their email or clears the history on their cache. I mean, these are things that the public can't relate to. It's
not the individual incidents. It's the accumulation of incidents that point to a candidate who is far less than transparent, who feels entitled, who feels elite, who feels above the people, and that's the image she conveys. That's not a great image for a political candidate.
Yeah,
so how do you think that she can change that image, Stephen?
I'm not sure she's going to try. I mean, the magic of the Clintons has always been that people dislike them but respect the work and feel like they are the best choice for the jobs that they want to do. I mean, remember the sense of entitlement that was ascribed to her when she decided to run for Senate in New York after living there for what? I don't know, 6 months?
Barely.
That's New York, and that's a different animal. Well, they've had a history of doing that.
Exactly, that's my point. They do it over and over, and it always comes out in their favor.
No, I meant New York. Sure. I mean, I thought the first time somebody moved in one day and ran for Senate.
No, understood. But, you know, I mean, I think the Clintons have Bill Clinton talks about this all the time. There is a connection they have with the average voter that the political culture is unable to sort of intercede and get in the way of. And she has the same thing.
That he had, and he was a whole different candidate. I mean, if you just weigh the charm factor, he's a whole different candidate than she is.
I think that opens up an entirely different discussion on how much, when she declares that she's going to run, how much do you let Bill out of the box, you know? I mean, how how much you let
Do
him
what he
be
does.
Bill
You
on the
let him-
campaign
you let him
trail.
do what he does.
But he was a massive distraction
I think she's
last
proven
time.
she has no ability to keep him boxed in.
Well, so, you know, one of the things that he is able to do right now is energize particularly the sort of far left of the party in a way that she can't. They don't connect with her in the same way, and you send him out to speeches or campaign events, fundraisers. I mean, people really still just are enamored with him and his legacy, and that's the role you want him to play over the next year and a half.
All right. So that'll have to do it for my week after the show. See, aren't you excited that we started talking about the presidential race?
No, that's it. We're not doing it again.
Secretly, you loved it. Secretly, you loved it. Admit it. Say yes, Christy. I'm glad we did that.
Once you pulled the string, he sure got wound up.
I was just going to say, I'm not going to say anything at all. Blah, 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 blah. All right. We'll see you guys next week. Take care.